Have you ever wondered about the scariest places in the world? What if I told you we included them in this video? Welcome to Urban Marvels. Today we take a look at 10 scary places around the world. Enjoy! The North Yungas Road, meandering its dangerous way from La Paz to Coroico in Bolivia, serves as a terrifying reminder to the formidable hurdles of navigating the Amazon jungle at an altitude approaching 15,000 feet. Aptly titled the Death Road, this 50-mile section is characterized by a 12-foot-wide single lane, a lack of guardrails, and reduced visibility owing to rain and fog. In its grim past, the North Yungas Road experienced an astonishing 200 to 300 yearly deaths. However, this perilous trail has undergone a change, turning from a dreaded thoroughfare to a magnet for intrepid mountain bikers seeking adrenaline-fueled excursions. The disconcerting height, coupled with the road's tiny size and hazardous circumstances, has etched the North Yungas Road into the annals of the world's most scary locations. Its traumatic past, now replaced by the whir of bicycle wheels, serves as a terrifying reminder of the delicate border between terror and curiosity that defines this legendary road. Nagoro, a little Japanese community, conceals an unnerving secret behind its borders, an army of life-size dolls that dwarfs the human population by roughly 10 to 1. Crafted by local artist Tsukimi Ayano, these creepy statues serve as duplicates of gone or relocated locals. The creepy ensemble of doppelgangers occupies diverse stances across the hamlet. Fishermen by the riverbed, students occupying entire classrooms, and elderly couples contentedly seated on benches. With about 350 dolls dwelling alongside 27 living humans, all aged over 50, Nagoro has morphed into a unique and rather disturbing place, evocative of a haunted toyland. The bizarre combination of dolls and live beings identifies Nagoro as a site where reality and the eerie intersect, giving it a position among the most disturbing locales on Earth. The Hill of Crosses in northern Lithuania serves as a tribute to centuries of fortitude and defiance. Originating in the 14th century, the hill's crosses first reflected hopes for Lithuanian independence. Over time, it grew into a memorial for slain rebels following the 1831 rebellion and renewed its position as a symbol of resistance during the Soviet occupation from 1944 to 1991. Despite being destroyed 3 times by the Soviets, the hill, studded with over 100,000 crosses, persisted through local resolve. The crosses, closely packed and clashing in the wind like frightening wind chimes, recount a terrible narrative of undying spirit against oppression, cementing the Hill of Crosses as one of the most disturbing sights on Earth. Xochimilco, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Mexico, contains a frightening secret among its lovely canals, the infamous Island of the Dolls, or Isla de las Muñecas. Concealed between the canals, this little island is famed for its unsettling spectacle. Hundreds of dolls and mutilated doll parts hanging from trees and scattered across the grass. While like a scenario from a horror movie, the island was once the actual domicile of the late Julian Santa Barrera. After discovering a young girl's body in a nearby canal, Barrera began collecting and exhibiting dolls, believing they might keep off bad spirits. Adventurous tourists may charter a boat, encourage the driver to steer towards the island, and view this terrifying doll sanctuary from the safety of the water, a site where the macabre meets the otherworldly, earning its reputation as one of the most horrific spots on Earth. Centralia, Pennsylvania, once a bustling coal mining town, today remains as a terrifying witness to a subterranean inferno that has raged since 1962. What began as a strange mine fire eventually intensified, spreading via interconnecting tunnels underneath the town. The enormity of the issue became evident in 1979 when a gas station owner reported unusually high fuel temperatures, and in 1981 when a little kid narrowly averted a 150-foot sinkhole in his garden. These terrible occurrences led to a quick fall in population, and now just 4 inhabitants remain in what looks to be a barren ghost town. Visiting Centralia uncovers a somber landscape of collapsed houses, decaying walkways, and graffiti-covered Route 61. The unsettling remembrance of the ongoing underground flames shows in periodic smoke billows, anticipated to endure for another 250 years. Centralia, with its quiet ruins and perpetual fires, cement its place among the most horrific sights on Earth. Beelitz-Heilstätten Hospital, tucked 50 minutes south of Berlin, Germany, has a terrifying history that runs from its 1898 foundation as a TB hospital to its foreboding involvement in World War I, treating victims of mustard gas and machine gun injuries, including a wounded Adolf Hitler. Transitioning into a crucial Nazi treatment facility during World War II and subsequently a Soviet military hospital until the collapse of the Berlin Wall, the hospital today remains as an unsettling relic. While certain wards operate as neurological rehabilitation institutes, the remainder of the complex lays abandoned, with surgical and mental units succumbing to degradation and nature's reclaiming. The disturbing images mimic a setting from American Horror Story, rendering it an unpleasant location inappropriate for the faint-hearted. Gomantong caves in Malaysia stand as awe-inspiring geological structures, with towering limestone walls rising up to 300 feet. However, the enchantment gives way to fear for many tourists, dubbing it one of the most terrifying animal experiences. Hosting almost 2 million bats, the tunnels are coated in a thick layer of guano, bat excrement, making every step difficult and railings equally dirty. Navigating through the torrent of droppings uncovers a horrifying image of millions of Malaysian cockroaches infesting every crevice. Amidst the bat smell, crawling cockroaches, and guano-covered landscape, encounters with snakes, scorpions, freshwater crabs, and deadly gigantic Scutigera centipedes add to the spine-chilling experience. Christ of the Abyss, situated in the Mediterranean Sea in San Frutuoso, Italy, stands as a unique and sometimes spooky underwater memorial. Commissioned in 1954 by diver Duilio Marcante, this 8-foot-tall statue was built in remembrance of Marcante's comrade Dario Gonzatti, who lost his life diving in the same place. The outstretched arms and skyward stare of Christ offer a slightly frightening effect, heightened by algae and rust. While the statue, briefly removed in 2003 for renovation, elicits conflicting sentiments of eeriness and beauty, the ability to shoot an underwater selfie with this submerged god remains a fascinating experience at a depth of 55 feet. The hanging coffins of Sagada in the Philippines provide a unique and rather frightening method to honoring the fallen. Instead of the customary burial, the inhabitants of Sagada have performed the tradition of fastening coffins to the sides of cliffs for generations. This unorthodox burial process entails carving one's own coffin before passing away, with the ultimate resting spot being lifted up next to ancestors. The result is a spectacular aerial graveyard where each cliffside coffin, many of which are centuries old, has a separate tale, since they were personally made by individuals who now lay within them. The door to hell in Turkmenistan stands as an eerie testament to a scientific mishap turned perpetual flame. Originating from Soviet-era oil exploration in 1971, the accidental puncture of a methane reserve led to a collapsed drilling platform, forming a massive 230-foot-wide crater. In an attempt to mitigate the danger of released gases, the scientists opted to set the crater ablaze. The result is a haunting spectacle, an unrelenting, fiery pit in the heart of the Karakum Desert that has burned for over 50 years, earning its ominous moniker, the Door to Hell. Here are 10 scary places we present to you. Don't forget to leave your favorite or creepiest one in the comments. See you until the next video.